Hello, everybody, and welcome to MMA Hefe. Today we're here with Kasper Hansen, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Denmark, Copenhagen, and just had a recent big fight against another huge fighter called Janobek Yusupov at Dominance Fighting Championship 02. How did that win feel for you coming out on top?
It felt amazing, also because the first round was pretty tough. He hit me some hard punches, but I just, kept going and
Because he's probably a guy that's very dangerous in the first and the second round, right? And then he will kind of...
Yeah, exactly. So I had in the first round, I didn't keep my distance so good. My plan didn't work, so we had to change some few things for the second and third round.
Yeah. Kasper, can you tell us about how you started your journey into MMA back in the day? What got you going and what got you interested in it?
In the beginning, I just started training just to some kind of self-defense or to defend myself. And then I started, on MMA. One day, Carsten, my coach, he came and asked me if I wanted to fight someday. I was open for it. And then I went into the fighting team, and from there, it one thing took another thing, and
yeah. Did you have anybody in your youth who kind of guided you in that direction? Do you have a father figure in your life, kind of?
Not in that direction, my parents is against violence. It's got more normal after I start, fighting in the cage, but before in time, never. But a lot of my friends told me to start and go into MMA. But before in time, it was more. I was not thinking so much about it.
No.
The last 4 or 5 years, I have been, thinking a lot about it.
Yeah. What drew you to MMA? Let's say instead of boxing, what made you choose that path?
I think it's the most, if you meet a better striker than you can maybe take him down and win on some other areas. Where in boxing, if you meet a better boxer, it's difficult, to change the result.
Yeah.
When MMA, you have more areas to go on.
So you started out doing an MMA, or did you start out with boxing or wrestling?
I started with some Thai boxing. But just 2 times a week. And
what's your daily training routine like? Can you take us through a day in your training life up to a fight, for an example?
It depends if it's a fighting camp. I work early in the morning. I meet in 5 o'clock, finish at 9 o'clock. Then I maybe have some boxing at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then 5 o'clock in the evening, I go to some MMA, where we do some technical and ends up with sparring and some cardio.
Yeah. Okay.
So I try to train every day a week, maybe one day off where I rest, but otherwise it's almost every day we are rolling.
Yeah. And weight cuts are not a big problem, I presume, for a guy like you in your weight class.
No, not at all. I walk around with maybe 115, and when I fight, it's 112, 110 kilos, so it's
150 is also insane.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
But I'm happy. I'm happy to eat, so it's not because
no
I cut at all.
Okay, what's your favorite go-to meal then?
I like
after a fight, let's say.
I like steaks, a lot of sauce into it, some potatoes.
Yeah.
But I also like rice, vegetables, and chicken, and that's a lot.
Okay, so a good steak, tomahawk or something. Yeah. Carnivore. Yeah. Cool.
Just relax and maybe a beer through it.
Yeah. So when you've eaten all of that, what do you do to relax? What do you do to unwind,
I just, the days where I relax, I just, maybe go to some spa resort, sauna goose.
Yeah.
Just to chill at all, no work at all.
What's your mindset when you're stepping into the cage? Because you've had 5 fights, right? Has it always been the same?
Oh, I have always being trusting in myself when I go into a fight, and I always try not to think too much on my opponents. Of course, I always watch them in the beginning, but after, I'm working on some points towards the fight, and then I just try not to, overthink about my opponent.
Yeah. So
you're
not
same as me, 2 arms, 2 legs, and yeah.
So you at this moment in time, you don't go too much into your fighters. You don't do too much research like a John Jones do, for an example.
No, I'm trying not to overthink it, because it can get emotional for you, and Of course, my coach always said to me, because you also use a lot of energy when you think of it, and he said, think about him 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at the afternoon, and then don't think more about it, because it's not getting better or more bad of it. All up in the head.
Yeah, okay. Reflecting on your bout against Janibek Yusupov at Dominance Fighting Championship 02, what did you take from that fight to your next fight?
It wasn't my best first round, I will say that, but I will say that I learned to to keep my head cold and just do the plans, do the simple things maybe, and it will work out. Keep the distance, jab, make him tired, and then you start to attack.
Yeah.
Of course, every fight is giving more experience.
Is there any heavyweight fighters or just fighters in general that you look up to or like their kind of way of fighting?
I like Espinal. I think he's very light on the feet. His boxing is very high level also. And his grappling is also like
he's all around very good.
Top elite. So I like him, but also a fighter like Francis Ngannou, his power in his hands is also a very interesting thing to watch.
Yeah. Like he really changed the game, because he showed people that you can actually leave the big promotions and have success,
Yeah, exactly.
Much respect for that.
I also like the story when you come from nothing and then you win.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful
he's
story.
A fucking badass.
Yeah.
What, you've had some setbacks as well. Only one, as far as I know, right? One loss. Against something. What lessons do you take away from a loss? Because that's not something.
It was a very hard fight mentally for me, because before that I thought I could beat everybody and I could walk on the water. So I had to search deep, and people said forget about it. 1 to 2 weeks, and people will forget about it. But it's all about. I felt like I was, how you say, disappointed all my friends and family and who went to see me, but in the end, they're still happy, to see me afterwards, and the thing is, it's a big thing to just step in the cage.
Yeah, but did that somehow push you in a better direction, or did it?
Yeah, I would say that after that fight, I started, focusing more on my boxing and keep my head down, my chin down, and I don't have to rush to anything. Sometimes it's going, but other times it's also biting you in the ass. And against Mirko, it bited me in the ass.
Yeah.
But
okay,
so it is what it is. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
That's exactly what it is, and that's, you gotta have setbacks. Sometimes, I'm sure you know that from life as well. And
100%.
Yeah, the evolving MMA landscape here in Denmark. How do you see it going? Is it going in the right direction, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have some very good upcoming fighters.
Yeah.
Also a lot of new pro fighters who is really advanced in all different styles in MMA. Also, the new
Dominance
also
FC.
Giving a lot of new eyes and maybe some new fighters on the scene.
Airtox Dominance FC, we rather should say.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, Mark.
I don't think he's. But so you said, you talked about you didn't really have like a father figure to guide you in life, but you had some coaches as well. Is there anything?
I had a father figure. But,
okay.
but he was not into fighting.
No,
He
oh
wanted
yeah,
to
you
talk
said that.
about
Sorry,
things and,
but you had some coaches that were obviously into fighting. How did they resonate with you? Did they motivate you, or?
The funny thing is one of my best friends. He told me many years ago. You like to fight. Why you don't try MMA?
Yeah.
You're good at it. And in the beginning, I was like, yeah, he's just talking. I don't have time for that. But see me now. It's like I do it every day, and I like it. And yeah, it's going okay after all. So.
What would you have been doing if you weren't into MMA?
Trouble somewhere in the world. I don't know. Yeah. So I think it have also helped me to see like happier on life, and I feel more comfortable in my younger days. I trust myself more.
And at this moment, you don't actually have a fight at the Airtox Dominance Fighting Championship 03, but we hope you'll get one announced very soon, right? I'm sure that's in the.
I have a fight soon, but if Marx wants to put me on, let's get it. I'm ready.
Yeah. I mean, I'm for sure everybody wants to see you fight at the Airtox Dominance Fighting Championship again, because the last event with you in it was the fight of the night and the highlight of the night, if you ask me. It was, it's a wild feeling. What do you do after a fight when you finish the fight like that? Do you just go home and rest? Or?
No, there's no time for that. My friends have booked a table in the city, and we went out partying.
Yeah.
We wrote the promoters that maybe I have some scars or damage in the face, but they was cool with it.
That's good.
Maybe not
so
the
out with the
smartest
boys.
thing to do.
Sounds like
you have to live life sometimes. And after a fight came, it's nice just to relax and
eat some good food.
Drink a little.
Do you balance your life with? You have a work on the side. You're trained for MMA almost every day, and you also have your social media. How do you balance all those things? Is that a problem sometimes to find enough time, or?
No, not at all. To make a story is very fast, but I have not an easy work, but I'm meeting 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm ending 9 o'clock. So I have a lot of spare time after that. Make, for example, boxing 11 o'clock and then MMA at 5 o'clock in the evening. So.
You talked about you have an upcoming fight. When and where is that?
Hopefully in Dominance, Airtox Dominance. Sorry, 3.0.
Let's
see.
That's gonna happen. I can feel it. It has to happen.
Yeah, it could be nice. Let's see.
You also
we're down for it.
Yeah. Is ADFC, is that a place you would like to stay in the future?
Yeah, I like it. It's like the last fight I had. It was really the atmosphere and everything. It was next level, and it's also very nice when you are fighting in your hometown, Copenhagen.
You feel the support.
Yeah, and it couldn't be better. It was a very nice evening, and it gives me like goosebumps every time I see it back on the fight. And
I could imagine. It was a wild night for me too. My buddy Marcel won his fight, so that was pretty important.
Right.
How do you like the amateur scene going here in Denmark? Is that going the right direction, do you think?
Yeah, I think for sure. And we're getting more and more. And the level is also getting better. For example, if you see 15 years ago, I think the level have moved a little.
And also the attention towards MMA, I think, has grown a lot.
Yeah.
I hear about clubs having to turn down memberships because they are basically so
it's gotten very popular, MMA in Denmark.
Yeah. And I know I don't know if you know Matt Spinell, but I know him as well, and he just opened his own new gym, Spinell MMA. Go have a look, ladies and gentlemen. Very good guy.
And very, very good at MMA also. He's one of the best I have sparred with and rolled with.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah,
he invited me to come train with him as well at Bernal MMA now that it's open, and I of course will do that as soon as I get back to Copenhagen, right? How do you approach a fight? Let's say you get announced a fight for ADFC 03, and what's your first thing you want to figure out?
How my opponent he fights, and of course his style. Is he a striker? What is he for type? So,
if you could choose your own exact matchup, what kind of fighter would you be facing?
I want to meet a striker, to be honest. Also because I also like to brawl a little by myself. But I also feel like I want to show other sides of my MMA also. Because I also want to do some wrestle sometimes, or make a submission one day. It could be fun, to show also.
For sure. Do you have any advice for up-and-coming fighters here in Denmark? Because I know there's a lot of youth out there trying to become MMA fighters, and is there anything you think could help them on their way to becoming a fighter?
Just, keep trusting on yourself. Everything is possible in the world, and I did it by myself, just keep trusting on yourself, and don't listen to crap from people, do what makes you happy. All about that.
Yeah, I think actually, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it. Kasper, thank you so much for coming. Kasper is also fighting out of CSA here in Denmark, Copenhagen. Everybody should check that out as well. Very, very good gym. And we will hopefully see you 26th next month, right?
Could be nice.
Could be fucking awesome. It would be kind of, we need to see you.
Let's hope Mark sees this.
Let's go, Mark. We can do that. We can set that up for sure.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, pleasure. And hope you will come back someday, maybe before or after your fight. Let's have a look at that. But check Kasper Hansen out, Kobe Havana on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching.